In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up Claude Code on a VPS so you can run coding tasks 24/7, control them from your phone, and keep long jobs going while your laptop is closed. Remote control already lets you drive Claude Code from your phone, but the session only stays alive as long as your computer does. A server that never sleeps removes that limit. I'm Jamie, and let's get into it. Quick note before we start, this video is sponsored by Hostinger, and everything you see is the real setup, start to finish. First, the 30-second version of what we're working with. Claude Code is Anthropic's AI coding agent. It runs in a terminal, reads your whole project, writes and edit code, runs your test, and works through multi-step tasks on its own. If you've never touched it, I have a full beginner series linked below, but you'll be able to follow either way here. Now, remote control is the newer piece. It's a feature still in research preview that connects a running Claude Code session to the Claude app on your phone or to a browser. Let's see it. Here's my project. Basecamp Brew Co. is a small craft coffee roaster in a mountain town, and this is their online store. The code base we'll use for the whole video. So I'll start a session with the remote control on. I already have Claude open and I have my Basecamp Brew session running. All I'm going to do is type remote control. You can see it right here. Now I have a few different options. You'll see right here, it gives me this link and any device signed in to my account can join it. I also have the option here to join through a QR code, which will really just open up the app on my phone. I'll open the Claude app here on my phone and I'm going to the code tab and there's my session just waiting. I can just go ahead and tap on it. And my session is going to be right here. The same session on my phone. I can send a prompt from the couch and Claude just keeps on working on the laptop. Now, here's the catch. The session runs on the laptop, so the phone's just the window into it. If I close the lid, and then the work stops with it. So nothing's lost, but nothing's happening either. The task just sits there until the laptop wakes up. The session lives wherever the machine lives. So let's give it a machine that never sleeps. A VPS, a virtual private server, is a slice of a computer in a data center that's yours. It runs 24/7, nobody closes its lid, and you connect to it from anywhere. Now, here's what that buys you for Claude Code. First, it's always on. Kick off a task from your phone at dinner, and it's still running when you wake up. Your laptop and your phone can both be off. Second, it's dedicated. On a laptop, you might close the wrong terminal or edit a file Claude's working on. The server does one job, and nothing interrupts it. Third, the networking. A data center connection means installs and clones don't crawl the way they can on a home Wi-Fi. And fourth, it's self-hosted. Your source code, your credentials, your env files, they sit on your server, not on someone else's platform. One thing worth knowing, regular app hosting plans usually put idle instances to sleep to save resources. That's fine for a website. It doesn't work for an agent that needs to stay up. For this job, you want a VPS. That's the trade, a few dollars a month for a machine that never closes its lid. Let's get one set up. Hostinger has a Claude Code hosting page. My link is down below in the description, along with a coupon code for 10% off. Here's the page. I'm going to go with a KVM2 plan, and here's why. Claude Code indexes your repos, runs test suites, and installs packages. And on a VPS, it's doing that all day. KVM2 gives you 2 cores, 8 gigabytes of memory, and 100 gigabytes of NVMe storage. Comfortable headroom without paying for capacity you won't use. As you can see, I chose the KVM2 plan, and everything happens on this one page here. So let's walk it down. Now, first, the period. I'm just going to leave it at the 24-month term. That's where the price drops to $8.99 a month, down from the $24.49. 2 things to know before you click. Plans are paid up front, so the monthly number is really the full term split out, and the renewal price, $14.99 a month, is listed right under the drop down. Now, check it out now instead of being surprised in 2 years. And this order throws in a free domain for a year, which is a nice bonus, even that's not why you're here. Next is the daily auto backup for $6 a month. Every plan already includes free weekly backups, so this just bumps up to daily. Now, for an agent making real code changes on its own, daily snapshots aren't a bad idea, but it's optional, and you can always do it later. I'll leave that one up to you. Pick the server location closest to you. It keeps the connection snappy. It's going to show you the latency for each one. Now, the important part, and it's easy to miss because it's marked as optional. Under selecting operating system, click the application tab, and here it is, Claude Code. So we just have to have it selected. This is what installs Claude Code on the server for you. So you don't touch the terminal to set it up. If you skip this step, no harm done. You can add it later from the VPS dashboard, but selecting it here is the whole point. Over in the order summary, there's the coupon field right here. Make sure you put in the discount and click apply, and you're going to get that 10% off your total. At this point, just go ahead and click continue. Once payment goes through, Hostinger walks you through setting up the server, starting with securing it. The first setup step after you've paid is locking down access. Two parts here. The root password is required, and it's the master key to your whole server. So don't type something you reuse. Hit generate for a strong one. Save it straight into your password manager. You'll need it for the first time you connect. The SSH key on the right is optional, and you can add it later from the dashboard. A key gives you a passwordless, more secure access. If you already have one, add it now. If you're not sure what that means, the password is fine to start, and you can set up a key down the road. Just click next. Last setup step is an optional feature. It's a malware scanner and it's free. Since your server is going to be running unattended around the clock, there's no reason not to turn it on. Now just go ahead and tick the box and we can go ahead and click finish setup. And you can see it will take about 5 minutes, so I'll come back after it's complete. Because we picked Claude Code in the cart, the server builds itself with everything already on it. While it spins up, here's what the template is actually installing. The operating system, Node.js, and the Claude Code CLI pre-configured so you don't have to. Once it's done, you get a You're Ready screen with two ways in. Manage VPS, which opens the dashboard, and SSH Access, which hands the exact command to connect with terminal. I'm going to go and copy the SSH command. It's just SSH root at your server's address. And I'm going to go over to terminal and just paste it in. The first time, it's going to ask a yes, no to trust the server. So I'm going to type yes. And then for password, that's the root password generated a minute ago. So I'm going to grab it and I'm going to put it in. After we enter the password, and we're on the server. If you've never used SSH, that's all it is. It's one command and a password, and now you're typing into the server instead of your own machine. Now, you're going to see a note here that some updates are available. On a fresh server, it's a good practice to run them, so I'll do that now. I'm just putting in sudo apt update, and I'm just putting sudo apt upgrade. So now let's make sure Claude Code is actually here. I'm just going to type Claude version, and you can see there it is. Okay, let's go ahead and start Claude. All I'm doing is typing Claude and hitting enter. And hitting enter. And this is where I need to connect it. So with number 1, it says Claude account with subscription, and I do have a max one. So that's the one I'm going to connect it to. So I'm going to choose number 1. You can see the other options that you have. Opening browser to sign in. I'm going to go ahead and just copy this, and I'm going to paste this into my browser. This is where I need to authorize it. I need to grab this code here, copy it, and paste this back over here, and then just hit enter. So I can see login is successful, and I can press enter to continue. A few security notes, and then enter. I'm going to, yes, trust this folder, and I'll try the new full screen. And I'll trust this again. And there we are, ready to be using Claude. 3 steps and the agent's live. Now, order matters on the first 2. So I'm actually going to go back a step now. So we already have this installed. I need to exit Claude. So I'm just going to type exit. What I need to do is enter tmux. Now, tmux is a wrapper that keeps a terminal session alive after you disconnect. So Claude Code can run inside it. So if you launch Claude Code first, there's nothing keeping it alive when you close the window. So your server prompt, this is what we're going to type. We're going to go like this, tmux new -s agent. And now you can see now we're operating in this tmux. Now I can go ahead and open Claude. I can start Claude, and just like normal, it will appear. But we're running inside of tmux now. Now we have our Claude Code. We can go ahead now Thirdly, connect the phone. So remember what we typed at the beginning? It was just /remote control. There it is. I'm just going to hit enter and we'll type that one more time here. Remember the /remote control right here. And then, so once we have that selected, you'll see that we have the same options that we have before. We have the link right here. We can have the QR code to scan with the phone, and we can just hit enter to continue. On the phone, I open the Claude app, go to the Claude Code tab, and there's the session. It is right there. No scanning needed. It's just there. That top session lives on the server now. So the phone is a window, the laptop is a window, and neither one needs to stay open. That's the whole setup. Everything from here is just using it. The server needs something to work on. Let's bring the project over. I've already pushed the Basecamp Brew Co store to GitHub, so I'll clone it onto the server. I'm just going to paste in where I had it under a public site on GitHub. You can see it's cloning the repository for me. So that full install took under 120 seconds on my home connection. Before we hand Claude the keys, let's take a look at one file that shapes everything it does. In the root of the repo, there's a file called Claude.md. Claude Code reads it automatically at the start of every session. It's where the project tells the agent how it works. And I'm just going to go ahead and call it up. You can see that here it is here. I'm just going to put cat in Claude.md, and we can take a quick look at this. This one covers what the project is, the command to run it, to test it, a map of the folders, and a short list of the rules. Every task ends with a test suite passing, keep commit small, and open a pull request instead of pushing to main. The last set of rules is doing the real work. End with the test passing is what makes the agent check its own fix in minutes. Open a pull request is what gives us a clean result to review instead of changes shoved straight to main. If you're ever starting a project from scratch, this is the single highest leverage file that you can write. The agent you get is shaped by what's here. So you can go further to coding style files, to never touch. How would you want a pull request written? 5 minutes on the file pays back on every task after it. Let's give it real work. Basecamp Brew Company has a checkout bug. On the Ridgeline Espresso Blend page, the order total doesn't update when you change the quantity. So 2 bags charged for 1. Now, customers won't complain about that one, but the accountant will. So I'm not at my desk right now for this, and the whole fix happens from my phone. So I do have my remote control on, so you can see I can quickly get to my session here. I'm just going to go and click on it. And I'm just going to tell it this: fix the checkout bug on the Ridgeline product page, run the test suite, and tell me when it's green. So one thing you'll notice, Claude is going to ask before it runs the commands and prove right from my phone. So I'm going to allow always for this session. So there you go. There's the fix. The quantity wasn't being multiplied into the order total, and the full test suite passing, including the one that was failing before. So refresh the store page and the total updates the way it should. A bug fixed from the phone by an agent on a server while I have no need to connect to a laptop in a bag. So that's the workflow. Now let's try something a laptop generally can't do well. A task that takes longer than you want to sit at your desk for. The Basecamp Brew Company runs on Express. So let's have Claude migrate the whole backend to Fastify. So every route, every middleware, run the full test suite, open a pull request when everything is green. So I'm going to go ahead on my phone and ask it to do this. So again, just through voice, migrate the back end from Express to Fastify. All the routes, middleware, run the full test suite, open a pull request once everything passes. I'm going to go ahead and send this. So the phone could be off too. The agent doesn't care. It's working on the server and it keeps working until the job is done. You can check it from anywhere. And here it is on the desktop app where I can access it from here as well. Same session, same context, live progress, terminal, phone, browser, all windows in one agent. And the finish, migration done, test green, and a pull request waiting in the repo. So I didn't have to babysit any of it. I set a goal, walked away, and came back to a pull request. That's what the always on actually means. So that's the setup. Claude Code on a Hostinger VPS controlled from your phone, working whether you're at your desk or not. If this sounds like something you really use, the link's down below in the description along with a coupon code for that 10% off. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.